All right, everybody, welcome back. So what we did earlier is we showed in an earlier video on how to construct a conditional distribution of health by happiness. What I want to do here is I want to flip it. So I want to find the conditional distribution of happiness by health. And so let's see if you remember how to do this. So let me write that down just so that I can remember what it is that we're doing. So we're doing happiness by health, I believe. Consider by health is very important. All right, so let's go ahead and start. First thing that you need is you need your conditional distribution. So remember that by health means that the health will be your quote unquote total. So you're conditioning on health. So given a health, you want to go ahead and take that to be your total. So it would be like, for example, given that somebody has poor health, you would go ahead and add all of these up. So that's a column. That their health is fair, add all these up, and then divide every entry by that. So that'll be a column sum. So I'm going to go to tables, contingency, with summary, select the columns, row labels are happiness, so this doesn't change. But now where we display, we want to display the column percentage. So here we have our column percentage. So notice that at the very bottom, we get 100. So that means that this is looking at it by columns. Now, let's go ahead and see if we can get a graph by health. And this is where it kind of gets confusing because check this out. I want for all of these individuals here should be grouped. This column should be grouped when I make my graphic. This column here should be grouped when I make my graphic. And if you recall, what you want is you want to make sure that the first variable, the one that says happiness, is always the column variable. So you want that to show up here. So happiness was this. Not very happy, pretty happy, and very happy. So that's what's going to have to go here. Not very happy, pretty happy, and then very happy. And here we're going to have the health condition, because again, it's by health. And the health goes from poor to fair to good, and then finally excellence. So what I want to do is I want to look at all the people who said they have poor health and then plot their proportions here, the happiness proportions. So let's go ahead and do that. So that'd be 0.3303. And just be careful here. The next one is pretty and poor. So that'll be 0.4862. Then pretty and very, that's 0.1835. Okay, so maybe let me go downward just so I don't have to move too much. So fair, that was 0.2272, 0.5704, 0.2025. Wait, did I do that wrong? Oh, man. I went downward and made a mistake. Okay, maybe let me just do it piece by piece. So pretty and fair. So fair and pretty, 0.5. And this one would be so that's very and fair. Okay, cool. 0.2813. 0.4918. 0.4483. And 0.599. Oh, this one's wrong. It's 0.0599. 0.133, 0.549, and 0.318. All right, so there we go. Again, whenever it says make a bar chart or conditional distribution of happiness by health, the way that you want to remember this is we've always done stats, summary stats by column. So we want to make sure that the variable we're really interested in really represents the columns. Here we're trying to say how is happiness changing over health, right? As health changes. So that's one way to remember that the first variable here is always the columns. All right, so now we're good. We can go to chart. We're going to select columns. And then remember, we're selecting the happiness level because that's the first one. And why does that say excellent? I don't know. It is titled health. So row labels will be under health. Order by worksheet. Let's do vertical bars. The X label will be health. Maybe I can call it general health. And the y-axis obviously will be proportion. So I'm not going to write it in. I hit enter and I've got my picture. And notice that this definitely is the picture I wanted because you can see that we are looking at happiness. So the columns represent happiness. Which is good because that's what I wanted. But it's grouped according to the health response. And so we can go ahead and see that there is a trend that if we look at the blue, that's the people who said that they are not very happy, that it's very high for individuals here in the poor health. Fair health is a little bit lower, and then lower still when they say good health. And then for excellent, it kind of like ticks back up. But that changes enough for you to say that that happiness and health are related. Okay, so let's take a look at the green. The green is very happy. So that's this level here for poor health individuals, increases, and then it drops again for excellent. So that's pretty interesting right there. The red, the people that say they're pretty happy, is one of the more consistent ones. So it doesn't vary as much as the others. And so here we definitely see that there's some kind of interaction between health and happiness given by the orange and the pink curves. So thank you for watching. If you need to watch this video again, please do so. But remember that the first variable you see needs to be placed as your column whenever you do this. All right. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.